should we be worried about the turnover we're having? So a traditional view, and it's very easily looked at as, what's a total turnover? So total voluntary and total involuntary rates, and what percentage of the population is it? MIP eligible, people who get bonuses. Maybe that's a population we look at because we value this population, look at it. Maybe, other exempt, or perhaps our non-exempt workforce, and looking at each of these things. So perhaps I need to know a little bit deeper than that. I want to look at a different number. So maybe I want to, let's drill into our non-exempt workforce. And maybe we feel like we can look at benchmarks and understand by director, are these right numbers? So we think about green, yellow, and red, and we know, okay, director B, that's bad. We have to talk to director B. Sure, I have to talk to director G. Look at that level. We have to talk to director M right here as well because they're all above target. But do we really know by these different cuts whether or not we are keeping our best people and whether we are worried sufficiently about these things? So introducing the concept of true bad turnover. And in true bad turnover, what you can start looking at is you go through a process with Vemo where you identify what the jobs which are either, you might call them key, strategic, or pivotal to the organization. And you can really look at anything you want in terms of this, but it really means these are the jobs which create the most business value. And therefore, if you lose even one person, it's going to hurt you in terms of your achievement of business results. And it's really going to strain the other key jobs in the organization. Perhaps you really want to know your high performers. That's certainly something you put a lot of work into your performance system. And you might want to look at high performers in terms of your performance system or perhaps some other systems you've put in place to determine who the high performers. But these are the true regrettable losses because these are the people who you've worked very hard to put your highest performers in your most important jobs. And unfortunately, these people are leaving. And this is the talent which is most desired by other organizations and you need to fight the most to keep. And until you focus in on this population, it's a small population, you lost 7 people. But these are 7 of the hardest to find people to get for this business unit. And you want this number to be 0 whenever possible. So you really highlighted, we have a real problem where we take people we invest a lot of development in and other factors, and we're finding that high performers and key jobs are still leaving. Perhaps these are people with potential to take major leadership jobs. These are people who very expensive to get and very expensive to find again. Executives, what level executives do you lose in terms of voluntarily leaving the organization? And then summing all these sets or unioning them together, really looking at what's my overall undesirable turnover, because there is a certain cross-section. But this gives an instant scorecard around bad turnover, but it does much more because it presents in a graphical format that really allows you to see these in terms of distinct populations compared to themselves, much more powerful than looking at just turnover by itself.